We are. We are live. Hello, Darlene. Good to see
Hello.
you.
Yeah.
And and so you know what? I am telling you that LinkedIn gives 220 characters to write your headline, but only 60 of them follow you wherever you go. Do you know what yours are, Darlene?
I do. And they're intentionally picked. Mine says lead generation strategist, help experts turn LinkedIn, and then it stops. So if people want to know what I'm helping
Oh,
turn LinkedIn to stop, it's a cliffhanger.
it is a cliffhanger. Please finish introducing yourself, Darlene, and then while you're doing that, I'll welcome everyone to What LinkedIn Doesn't Tell You, the show where we expose what the platform quietly doesn't tell most professionals, but it will help you be more intentional and deliberate in using LinkedIn. So go ahead, Darlene. Tell me your full introduction.
I'm Darlene Petrie, and I'm the lead generation strategist, and I help professionals turn LinkedIn visibility into meaningful business conversations.
And I'm Dr. Nancy Zare. I'm a sales psychologist helping mission driven experts convert prospects into clients without being pushy, aggressive, and salesy. So, as we dive in, Darlene, I want to ask you something. When you look at someone's LinkedIn headline, and I know as a lead generation strategist, you are in LinkedIn all the time, what is the most common mistake you have noticed?
Honestly, Nancy, the most common mistake is that people use their LinkedIn as a job title.
Oh,
It
yeah.
reads like something from a resume rather than something that speaks to the potential client scrolling past. And I see things like CEO at ABC company, or I see consultant speaker, like with the slash, consultant speaker coach consistently. And while those aren't wrong, they're really not doing any work for the person.
Yes, what you just said is so true. They're not doing the work. I love that framing because that's exactly what today is about, making your headline work for you, especially in the places most people don't even realize their headline is showing up. So here's what LinkedIn doesn't tell you about your headline. Most people think of it as something that lives on their profile page. You write it once, it sits there, people see it when they visit you, and nothing. But actually, your headline travels with you across the entire platform. Every time you comment in a post, your headline appears. Every time you publish a post, your headline appears. Excuse me. And every time you send a direct message, again, your headline appears. It's the single most visible piece of text that is attached to your name on LinkedIn. And most people have written it kind of as an afterthought. What do you think?
I think that that is so true. And I think, like you said, we don't realize all of the places that it travels. And what makes this even more critical is the truncation issue. When your headline travels with you into those spaces, comments, posts, messages, LinkedIn doesn't show all of your 220 characters. Like we said at the beginning, it shows you roughly the first 60 characters. Characters, not words. So, whatever you've put in those first 60 characters is what the world sees, like everywhere. Everything after that is invisible unless someone specifically visits your profile.
Okay, and that means that if your headline starts with the job title, like you said, or a resume, your company name, that's the first thing and maybe only thing people learn about you. They never get to the good part. Now, let's make this concrete. 60 characters sounds like a lot until you start counting. And let me show you exactly how fast it disappears. CEO and founder at Innovative Business Solutions LLC. That's 52 characters. And what did you learn about the person? Almost nothing, I would suggest. And does it help you decide you want to keep reading or maybe scroll down and learn more? Probably not. And now listen to this instead. I guide experts to get clients without chasing leads. It's the same 50 plus characters, but now you know something, really a lot about who the person is, who they serve, and what they can do.
And I find the difference is striking. In the first example, it's about the person's identity. In the second, it's about the reader's outcome, and the people always pay more attention to outcomes than titles.
Yes, and that's, as you've heard me say many times, it's because we're tuned into WIIFM, what's in it for me? And so the headline has to answer the question before the reader ever consciously asks, what's in it for me? So, Darlene, in your work, when you help professionals generate leads, what is the headline patterns that consistently underperform?
Well, there are three that I see consistently, and I call them the three headline traps. So, trap one is the title dump. That's where someone lists every role they hold, their CEO, their speaker, author, consultant, coach, and that's usually divided up with the slash line. It signals a lot of activity, but nothing really clear. There's no clear focus. The reader can't tell you who you actually serve or what problem you solve. And then there's trap two, the vanity statement, something like passionate about helping people reach their potential. Sounds inspiring, really, but it says nothing specific. Everybody is passionate. Passionate is not a differentiator, and you need something that's going to differentiate you from everybody else. Trap three, the inside out headline. This is where the headline is written entirely from the person's perspective, their credentials, the methodology, their title, and all of their letters that go behind it, rather than the prospect's perspective.
Ah.
It answers the person who I am instead of why should you care?
And the painful part is that most people who've fallen into one of these three traps probably are unaware. It's because when you write about yourself, you've got a blind spot. It's like we fill in the blanks, even though they're not there. Which is honestly one of the core reasons why you and I have created the LinkedIn Profile Lab, because we can see in less than 60 seconds what the person writing the headline simply can't see for themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And if for no other reason than getting an objective outsider's viewpoint, I do highly recommend the LinkedIn Profile Lab.
So let's talk about what a well-crafted headline accomplishes, because it goes well beyond describing what you do.
Yes.
A great headline should do three things simultaneously. First, it should identify who you serve. Your ideal client should read your headline and immediately feel like, wow, you're talking my language. It's written for me. And second, it communicates the transformation or outcome, the result that you deliver, not the process. Don't tell me your credentials and the training and the name of the system you use. I want to know the results you get for me. And third, it creates enough curiosity that I then want to know more. Like it opens a door. I want to scroll down, and maybe I even want to book an appointment.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly right. And when all three of those are working together in 60 characters or less, not the whole, I mean, it does have to go throughout the whole headline. But if you get that first 60 characters or less, that headline becomes a lead generation tool. Every comment you leave, every post you publish, every message you send is quietly introducing you to new people before they even visit your profile. It encourages them to look at your profile.
I agree. I agree. And think about the compounding effect of that, because if you're active on LinkedIn and you comment thoughtfully on several posts a week, I'd recommend perhaps as many as 10 or as few as 10. That headline is being read potentially by hundreds of new people every single week. And if it's vague or if it's poorly focused, that's hundreds of missed opportunities to make a good first impression.
That's exactly true. And if it's clear, specific, and outcome focused, every one of those impressions is doing quiet, consistent work for your business.
So here's the psychology underneath it all. You were expecting that, right, Darlene? I am a psychologist.
Had to get that in there, yes.
Yeah.
And very happily to hear it.
Yeah. Research tells us that people form a first impression in milliseconds. 2 to 5 seconds at most. And on a text-based platform like LinkedIn, your headline carries the weight of that first impression. It's the equivalent of what happens in the first few seconds of a face-to-face meeting. Where you've said a word, or maybe people size you up just by the way you look, and they're making judgments about the relevance, credibility, and whether to keep paying attention right from the get-go. Your headline is a handshake, and right now a lot of people are offering a limp handshake.
Oh, I know. And then that is such a vivid image. I love that. It's true. It's true, though. I've seen beautifully written, genuinely valuable profiles that are invisible simply because the headline gave nobody a reason to look further.
And here's what's particularly frustrating. The content below the headline can be outstanding. The about section can be compelling. Your experience is impressive, but nobody's ever going to scroll down to read it because it's the first 60 characters that set the stage.
So, Nancy, can you tell us what's a simple framework for rewriting your headline so that those first 60 characters work in your favor?
Start with a fill in the blank structure, and the first blank is the audience. So, who do you serve? The second blank is the transformation. What benefit, what outcome did they receive? This structure will keep you focused on the reader instead of yourself.
And I think I'd like to add one thing. Use the language that your clients actually use, not the language of your industry. Jargon out. If your ideal client would never use the word leverage or synergy in a real conversation, don't put it in your headline.
Oh, good point. Because when your headline reflects the exact words your prospects use to describe their own problem, something clicks and they say to themselves, wow, you get me. We're alike. And they feel understood. And now the conversation can begin. And that's what creates resonance. And if you've listened to any previous conversations Darlene and I have had, resonance is the key for getting you in front of your right fit prospect. Now, one of the things we work on in the LinkedIn Lab is your headline, and we do stress those first 60 characters. And Darlene and I will rewrite it so that it's doing its job every single time your name appears on the platform.
And it does appear in a lot of places. That's the one thing that we really have to think about. Like when people Google search your name, it's there too. So it's just not about LinkedIn. So what should we take away from today?
I suggest this is action step. Go ahead, look at your LinkedIn profile right now. Look at that headline, count the first 60 characters in that headline. And if you, or a shortcut is look at a post or somewhere where you've commented or left a direct message, and look at the 60 characters that have followed you. And now when you see those 60 characters, and like in Darlene's example at the beginning, it got truncated, it got cut off. Ask yourself, does this tell someone who I serve? Does it hint at what it is that I can do to help them? Be sure to answer these questions in the affirmative so that you can rest assured that your headline is quietly working for you 24/7.
And if it's not how you want it to be, the good news is that this is one of the fastest, highest impact changes you can make to your LinkedIn presence. You don't need a new headshot or a complete profile overhaul. Sometimes just rewriting those first 60 characters changes everything.
Yeah. Any final thoughts before we bring this to a close?
Just this, your headline is not a label. It's an invitation. Write it for the person you most want to attract, and they'll find you.
So we've covered a lot of ground, and if you've been tuning into our series, and you can check and look at previous episodes, we've talked about how your posts are shown to non-followers first, how your profile is part of the algorithm, that comments carry more weight than posts, and today our focus has been on those first 60 characters of your headline. All of this will connect back to one thing: whether your profile is positioned to turn attention into connection, because we're all about relationships. And that's what we do inside the LinkedIn Profile Lab. The next one is in mid-July. We have a wait list, so let us know if you'd like to be included. To your sales success, this is Dr. Nancy Zier, sales psychologist, and
I'm Darlene Petrie, lead generation strategist, helping professionals turn LinkedIn visibility into real business conversations.